Welcome to Command This, where we're going to talk about your undefeated, undisputed, never have ever been beaten before Washington Commanders. Put your chains up for the W.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight as we kick off a Victory Monday. We have a special guest lined up for you guys tonight. Let's go and bring up our man from the Full Press Commanders podcast, our friend, our podcaster, also a sports writer. Let's bring on the one and only George Carmi. What's cracking, George? How you doing today?
Gentlemen, I'm doing very good. Thank you for having me. Appreciate me being on.
Yeah, man. Victory Monday. Let's go. Let's go. I mean, how often do we get this opportunity? I feel like it's rare these last couple of years, man. It's been rough.
100%, man. So definitely got to enjoy it and soak it up while we at it. So we're glad to be here.
Yeah, and as people come into the stream, George, I just want to, every time we have people on our channel. Well, first off, for the audio crowd, thank you for joining us. It's your boy Steve. We had Phil with the crazy intro again, and we got Dev here live and direct from Kentucky. What's cracking, Dev?
What up?
Yeah, and then we're also joined by our friend George Carmi from Full Press Commanders. So, George, as we have people on our show, regardless of what team they're from, we always want to start out with a fan story. So, just tell the listeners, like, how did you become a fan of the Washington Redskins football team, Commanders, whatever you want to call it? How did you become a fan of this football team?
Oh, no question, man. So basically, I'm born and bred into it. I have two older brothers that are 10 years older than me, and they just kind of put me on. The long story is that basically my parents are from they're from Palestine. I'm Arabic, so they basically flew into America in the 1970s, and they're just trying to kind of they're just trying to assimilate to the country, right? You know, the Redskins are starting to become a pretty good team, and they started to win some Super Bowls and started to be successful. And they just wanted to be able to talk to people like at Roy Rogers where they used to work growing up. So what ended up happening is they basically got into the team. They started getting into the Redskins a little bit. And then, in 1983, I was born. My brother put a Redskins shirt on me and basically just started watching the team, man. And, 1992, I was 9 years old. I saw them beat the Bills. I still remember that. I still have it on tape. I have it on VHS in my house
37-24. Let's go.
100%, man. And basically, I was put on for the rest of my life after that. Like in high school, I just basically used to drive around and, back in the day in the Washington Post, you'd have appearances about Brian Mitchell and Ken Harvey. And I just drive around the county and try to find these guys. And I just always loved the football team and always loved Redskins. And then in college, I became a journalism major. I wanted to write and wanted to be on ESPN. And I got into it a little bit. So that's kind of how I got into all this, man. I'm a fan for life and I love writing. And let's talk about the team. It's perfect, man.
So run us back. So you're born in 83. You're born into the fan base, and you're Palestinian?
100%, bro. All facts. Why is that you?
I'm quarter Palestinian, but other than that, it's exactly me right there. That's why
that's
I thought
awesome,
that was
man. Hell yeah. Small world, man. It's fantastic right there. It's perfect. I had no idea.
Yeah, from Palestine, Phil, from Crenshaw Mafia. Boys in the hood, motherfuckers. No.
Yeah, as soon as George said Palestine, Phil's going to chime in on that one.
I'm over here
African booty scratcher? No.
No, that's cool, George. First off, hey, Marcus, thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate you. Go check out Sports View 2 on Facebook, and go check out Marcus Edelin on in his sports group over there. So, George, we were at the game yesterday, Phil and I. You were at the game yesterday. You saw us at the tailgate. First and foremost, it was hype. The atmosphere was live, right?
Sure, man, 100%.
Yeah. So let's talk about the stadium experience before we get into the actual game of itself. Just for everyone who was out there, real quick, Phil and I tailgate. We got there a little bit late, so we missed the main tailgate we were trying to get to because of traffic and rain and everything. But we were a little bit further down, so red zone lot was still popping. It was great. The stadium was just on point. I haven't felt that way in a very long time. I would say it was almost 2012 territory for me because I went to every game in 2012. But yeah, in your opinion, George,
Shock and all territory.
Say what?
Shock and all territory.
Shock and all.
Yeah, that's what they called 2012 when against the Saints when RG3 came out there and showed up some.
Yeah, but that was in New Orleans though.
That's true.
But nonetheless, it did feel that way.
But it did. It had that vibe for sure.
Nuts.
George, tell us your experience yesterday, all the way coming in from the red zone lot and then hitting the tailgates and then in the stadium itself. What's the vibe that was given you yesterday?
It was good, man. I was hype all morning. I was trying my best to get down and land over to watch the game. And I mean, I was worried, man. I thought it was going to rain. I think it did rain really hard in the morning, but by the time we got there, we were just misting. Walking through the red zone lot, I see my man Steve and Phil grilling. I walk by. Steve hands me his sausage. He's a hell of a cook over there, so I appreciate that. That was awesome. I continue into the red zone lot. You know, it's popping, man. That one little corner. If you guys ever come to the FedEx Field, you definitely got to check out the red zone lot. There's one little corner where the Extreme Skins have their main tailgate. Steve hangs out there a lot. I try to get there whenever I can. It's a great time, and I love it out there. So definitely chop it up with the boys a little bit. Saw Kyle, saw a couple other people. It's kind of, CJ, Kyle, and a whole bunch of people over there. But what the cool part is, man, what a lot of people are sleeping on is inside the stadium. There's a new Legends Lounge.
I heard about that. What's that all about?
Yeah, it's dope, man. It's awesome. So I sit typically in section 110. That's where my season tickets are. And behind 130, like on the other opposite end of the field goal post on the other side of the field, there's this little like legendary lounge. It used to be the Bud Light Pavilion for those of you that used to go there, FedEx for a long time. Okay. So they gutted that, and what they ended up doing is they put a stage there. They basically had a whole bunch of food trucks. So they had a little, a bunch of sofas and kind of chilled out. And it was awesome, man. You walked up, they had 675 beers, and it's been kind of circulating. So yes, he's lighting up, Steve. But there's a bunch of talk all summer about how there's $18 beers or whatever. But you walk up at 675 beers. There are people giving out gift cards. Like Bank of America was giving out $15 Fanatic gift cards as soon as you walked up. Santana Moss was walking around, Fred Smoot, Doug Williams, and then they actually talked about Mike Bass on the stage with Tanya Snyder and Jason Wright. And it was fun, man. It's a good time all together. And then last but not least, man, just walking from that, going back to my seat, they had the drum line walking up and down the concourse, which I've never seen before, which is real cool. I grabbed a seat in 110. Everyone is hype. Like legitimately, I didn't sit the entire game, and I kind of felt bad at first. There was a Jaguar fan behind me, so I didn't really feel too bad about it. But it was cool, man. I just had a blast. We stood up, we yelled. Lower bowl was pumped, man. It was definitely like it's been a long time since I felt that. I went to 7 games last year, and it didn't feel like that at all season long. So I'm glad the team's actually pretty pumped up now.
Yeah, that's same way here, man. It just we were up in 327, same sentiments. The crowd was live, nothing but Commanders fans around where we were. Now there were some Jaguar fans there, but clearly they were all just lined up behind the Jaguars bench, which is that's expected.
Understandable. Yeah.
I was just this area of transplants. I just figured we'd have more. I don't even know if you call it black and teal. I don't know what color they are. There wasn't a lot. I would say Phil and I were talking about the ratio. I would say it was like 80-20, 90-10, 85-15
at least.
100%, man. Yeah, I felt the same way. It was definitely a burgundy vibe.
How was the crowd whenever Jacksonville got the lead back and was up 2 scores at one point? How did the crowd?
It's getting a little quiet.
Really?
I'm not gonna lie. I was worried because in years past, Dev, they definitely would like start booing or start kind of getting.
Yeah, I wondered. I thought I heard some boos like from the TV.
They're resilient. They're itching for it. I think they're reaching in their pocket to boo, but they didn't actually do it. So they were getting there, but it got quiet. He's right.
Yeah, but still, and when after the big plays were made, the 2 Jahan plays, the Curtis play, it was loud. Now, I will say, while we're still talking about the stadium experience, a couple things that did kind of irk me was not irk me, but it was just like weird, was the fight song after the touchdowns. Mm-hmm. You could barely hear the band. I don't think they were projecting on the speakers. They had the words going around the bowl, and I think they were just like, we're just gonna throw this against the wall, see what happens.
If you tell it a little bit.
Or it could be because they cut the band in half.
Well, clearly that's the reason why they weren't projecting. But even at the preseason game, when they had the band where I sat during the Panthers game, they were loud and the mics were projecting all around the stadium. I didn't hear that. In 327, we could not hear the band.
So, Steve, that's hilarious. I'm sorry to interrupt you guys, but in 110, I could barely hear anything either. Like all game long, just in regard to like, I heard first down Washington. I heard that often, but everything else, like any like the hype and the JP Finley talking or the band out there, I couldn't really hear anything. So I wonder if it's always been an acoustic problem in FedEx, to be honest with you. But I don't know.
But we had our buddy Chop, who's a retired band member, not in the new group, but from the original Redskins band member, and they had mics. They were always in front of the instruments. So the band, when they turned the mics on, would always project around the whole stadium, and that didn't happen at least yesterday. So that's why we were wondering, maybe they were just like, let's see what happens with the song. Let's just play the music, see what happens. No one even sang in our section. I thought we were going to stand up and sing Hail to the Redskins. We didn't. I don't know how it was down in Lower Bowl. Did we all sing?
People were singing "Hail to the Redskins" in our area. They definitely were. they were definitely committed. It was cool though. I mean, it's fine. Like, I thought that I'm glad they went with the faster tempo for the song, because we've seen the theatrical like opera version, and they didn't go that route. It's more like the up paced. I know, Deb. You basically had the uptone, up paced beat over there. And that was fine. So we singing "Hail to the Redskins," and it was fun. Man, I had a good time.
I mean, they got to know that.
I had a suspicion about that. I actually told Steve, I said, I bet you that their whole thought process is, you know what? Half this fan base is not going to sing the new song. We'll play the music, we'll put the words up, let them do whatever they want.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes hand in hand with some other things we heard, or I got to hear about while hanging out at the tailgate with some of the luminaries.
Yeah, I was kind of we also broke down our tailgate late, so we didn't get to go into this Legends area to see. Was that open for everyone, regardless of you had to be a gold member? I mean,
no, it is wide open. So definitely, I recommend everyone to go check it out at least once. I'm probably gonna, if I ever get there early, like if it's a kind of a crummy day, I'll definitely get into the stadium early to go into the Legends Lounge. It's actually really cool. I mean, I prefer to hang out in the tailgate without all you guys, but if it's an option, just go in there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
I heard they've got, because. See, I'm a fan ambassador. I was on the culture committee, which history was the history of the team was a big thing, and this was like the thing we told them we got to have this, and they kept telling us, be patient. We've got some stuff coming. We've got a lot of stuff that we're working on restoring. And then I heard that the infamous game worn Sammy Ball jersey showed up in the Legends Lounge. Was that there? I heard there was.
I didn't see it. I don't even know what you're talking about. Was there supposed to be a Sammy Ball jersey? What are you talking about?
Yeah, it was a game worn Sammy Ball jersey that had been restored.
Wow.
No, I didn't see it.
It would have had the long sleeves and everything.
Jeez, man, I'd like to get my hands on one of those.
You wonder how much they had to restore it because time had faded it out. But it's still apparently it's not 100%. But the fact that they're taking the time to do this, if you're still under the impression that they're running from the history of this team, get off that bandwagon.
Yeah,
they're making it a point to say, no, we still know who we are.
Just a little bit.
I agree. I agree, man. During draft day, me and Chris Bryant has the family package, the ultimate fan package with the fantasy draft. And we went to the draft night at FedEx Field, and we actually had one of the suites. We're on the 50-yard line, overlooking the fields and all that. And we just noticed all the little small touches they did throughout the stadium. They have like a Bobby Mitchell way, like a legendary lounge, different murals all throughout the stadium. It's actually starting to look pretty nice in there. So I like the little touches they're doing.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, well, so for overall, I want to say, well, the concourses was great. It was kind of crowded. The team store debuted. That was kind of a mess, but it's to be expected when you're opening up a new team store. We hit the team store in the club level, and it was in and out. It's not new, but it just has enough just to.
They have any black jerseys in there?
No. I don't think anywhere had the black jerseys that I've seen. Yes.
China does.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
They have everything for a discount. Yes, they do. But beers upstairs, same thing. I'm not going to get into the beer price argument, but they were upstairs, $16, whatever, $15, whatever, seltzers, the 26 King cans. I'm trying to think what else. The traffic getting in and out was not bad. For us, in my experience, it's been 10,000 times worse. It wasn't bad leaving the red zone lot in Sheriff Road. So, hey, Josh Kirby, what's up, man? Got to meet Josh down at Theismann's at the DC Tweet Team meet and greet. Shout out to DC Tweet Team and Maurice Hawkins for putting that on. It was a good time. And the man, the myth, the legend, Andy Burrows. Okay, who's still drunk? I hope, Andy, you are.
I know Andy is. I know that for a fact.
Andy's heading down south to meet up with some more friends. I'm glad you're staying in the country and enjoy yourself. Andy, it was great to meet you, man. Finally got to meet you in person, man. That was awesome. Yeah, I wish you could have been there, man. Next time, get on a plane and come on up. Dev don't fly, George.
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't?
Nah, I don't fly, man.
Josh says those Brits can drink. Yes, they can.
Yeah,
so
there's Dev, you missed some legendary shit that apparently went down with the Brits and drinking.
I'm more of a smoker than a drinker. I wouldn't even be able to mess with them.
The devil's lettuce and Dev. But George, let's get right into the game recap here. So we won 28-22. Just starting off the game in the first quarter, it was 3-0 that first drive, and then we got the ball back, went down. We had a 74-yard drive. It was like 8 plays, 421, and it capped off with that short little 3-yard out to Curtis Samuel. First touchdown in the Commander's history, air quotes. Curtis Samuel, Weapon X all game. Then we come back. We score again in the second quarter with Jahan on that 7-yard pass from Carson. Capped up 14 plays, 71-yard drive, 7.5 minutes. And it's 14-3 going into halftime. And then we come back around to the third quarter, and all of a sudden, I don't know if Scott Turner starts playing Mr. Conservative or not, but then the Jaguars start coming back. So James Robinson, 3-yard pass from Trevor Lawrence. It's a 2-point conversion failed, which is great, but they ripped off an 80-yard drive. It's 14-9, and then they kick a field goal, 14-12. And then at this point, we were like, Phil and I were just like, here we go. So we go into the fourth quarter. They kick another field goal. It's 15-14. So now we've lost the lead. And then James Robinson rips off an 11-yard run. 22-14, we are down. And then Carson hits Terry McLaurin for a 49-yard pass up the right, I want to say the right sideline. And if you went to the preseason game, or if you saw if you saw the open practice, were you at the FedEx Field open practice?
I missed it, unfortunately.
They ran this same play, but they did it from about 25 yards out. He hits a shoulder fake, and Terry does a little out and up, and it was the same exact play, but just on a much grander scale. And then 22-20, still Jacksonville, and then we get the ball back. And that was a 78-yard drive, 2 minutes. But then we come back, and then we rip off the 4-play, 19-yard drive. Jahan Dotson, 24-yard, and it's just it's a whole new world, man. It's amazing. And that's the game. We won the game, and then Derek Force, seals it with the pick. So with that being said, let's do a little segment we call Overreaction Monday, George. We'll start with you. Give us an overreaction. It can be as grandiose as you want. It could be as real. It could be fiction. Overreaction Monday. It's time to overreact.
Oh man! All right, I don't even know if this is an overreaction, but I think we got a quarterback, guys. I think we do, man. People kind of hopping off Wentz and kind of feeling kind of lukewarm about it, but I like it, man. I think he got something going on.
So you're agreeing with Dan Snyder, huh? We got a quarterback, and the stadium's going to be packed. We
finally got a quarterback. I agree with you, bro.
It's going to be packed, and it's going to be. He said all that, and everybody laughed, bro. Everybody's like, "Yeah, right."
No, dude. So basically, what I did is 14-3. So basically, scored back-to-back passing touchdowns to basically start the game. I don't even know if you guys know this, but opening game, right? Scoring on our first 2 drives, that hasn't happened since 1991, believe it or not. And the opening week one, the last time we had back-to-back, we scored touchdowns in the first 2 drives on the first game of the year. So it's crazy. So it's like we're looking good. And basically, Wentz is dishing it. So I got hype. I had a couple beers with me. I got hype. I tweeted something out. It blows up. People are like, "Oh yeah, Carson Wentz, whatever." Then go ahead. You gonna say something, Steve?
No, I was gonna say I thought you were talking about the stadium's trash air.
Oh, we'll go to that one a little later on. Yeah. So I was talking about Carson Wentz. I had like a funny picture. Like it's like trigger finger, like feeling pretty nice. I put that Carson Wentz tweet up. It blew up, and then basically, then he throws those 2 picks, and everyone's coming after me. Like, dude, we have a quarterback, whatever. But honestly, man, what I like coming away from the game is that Carson Wentz, he does have his flaws, but I think he does have the weapons to bring us back. Like you even said it, Steve, we were talking about it. We were down, I guess, 15-14 at one point or whatever it was. And you said you looked at Phil and you guys are starting to get down because for so many years, once we get down late in the second half, it's almost game over for us. We never have the firepower to come back. But Wentz does, man. He had that one, he showed moxie, he showed resolve, and he basically hit that 49-yard touchdown to McLaurin. He brought the game back, and I think it's going to be a wild ride all year long, but I think we're never going to be out of it, which is actually pretty cool. We actually have an offense that can explode, which I'm excited about. So that's where I'm at.
So your overreaction is we got a quarterback.
We got a quarterback.
I like that. Phil, what's yours, man? What do you got?
We got a playoff team.
I like it.
That look, there's a certain level of resolve that comes to being a good team. This was a game that so many years past we would have lost. We would have let it slip through our hands, and we would have been like, we were so close. Oh, we'll get him next time. And then next time never comes.
It doesn't hurt also that Dallas is fucked.
Facts. That's true.
It helps. It helps. But nonetheless, even without that, I mean,
Hey, give us Taylor Heineke for a 3rd round pick, and he's yours.
Give me a bag of flaming hot Cheetos.
Straight up. Heineke for Micah Parsons.
Yeah, exactly right. I'm down.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, just I walked out of there and it's just the entire day felt different. It felt different. Like, you know, I walked in like something's coming over me that has not come over me in a long time. Just that feeling of we're on the verge of something. There is something here, and it's not tangible. There's something here. And yeah, the stadium was not sold out. A lot of people, especially in the upper decks, did not, they kind of bailed. I think people like the cheap seats anyway. It's going to rain. I'll bail on it.
I agree with you.
What?
I agree.
The worst part of the weather is when the sun came out. And the humidity got super heated.
Oh my gosh,
I was sweating all game, dude. It's gross. Yeah.
But if you have tickets, do not sell them. You need to be a part of this. This was the best stadium experience I've experienced. I missed 2012. I didn't go to any games 2012. I went to games in the 2000s and some of those Gibbs years. Those were exciting crowds. Those are crowds that could get up and get going. They were loud. There was more of them back then.
Yeah.
You need to fill this stadium, people. If you got the tickets, go. If the tickets are cheap, spring for a couple bucks. You're going to enjoy yourself.
Yep.
If you rooted for this team on Sunday, you're a Commanders fan.
That's right.
Accept it.
Don't let it.
Undefeated.
Sink in.
Just embrace it. Embrace the W. It's here. It's grown on me. Originally, these were taco shell holders to me, but now this is my W. So, Dev, you got to watch the game from television. So, given your experience, what's your overreaction? Because you probably saw a lot of things that we didn't see.
Man,
being at the stadium.
I was going to ask you this. I felt lucky, man. I felt lucky that out route to what's his face, Zay.
They got
Jones.
picked up. Oh,
Zay Jones was too far out, and that one run where it whatever's name, Etienne was running up the sideline on the wheel past Jamin Davis was overthrown. And then there was another pass I think in there he threw. There was an overthrow. I'm like, man, we got some of the things, man. And also one thing we didn't notice, when Wentz threw that screen interception, by the way, hell of a play by Walker. I mean,
really was.
I mean, dude, granted, he probably should threw it to the dirt, but it looked like nobody was there if you're looking at his angle. That guy made a hell of a play.
If you look at it from where Wentz
backwards, caught it, still up, was running. But one thing nobody picked up, Wentz tackled him. He had a for sure touchdown.
I saw that too. Yeah. I saw that, Dev. I saw that.
We saw it.
He had a for sure touchdown, man. Mm-hmm. I think they only got 3 out of that. Maybe I'm mistaken.
No, I scored the next play. Actually, honestly, I think Cole Holcomb missed a tackle and they scored. But you're right, though. I appreciate the effort by Wentz.
Fuck what I was going to say then.
I was hoping he wasn't going to hurt himself. But Dev, my comment kind of lends off yours. My overreaction is that the defense is not good. That's my overreaction.
Man. We need a mic,
not good, but for all the same reasons that you just said.
But I watched I don't know if you guys watched any of the post-game press conferences, like the next day stuff that happened with Ron, but he had said something like, and I think that what's his face, the hard-hitting dude, what the fuck?
Forrest.
Yeah, Forrest. They said that he perhaps was probably going to play like that kind of Buffalo nickel linebacker that Landon was playing. That's where he's supposed to. I think that position that Jamie was in is supposed to be his, and then Curl was supposed to play back there where he played. That's the understanding I got. They were like, well, why did he keep getting matched up on Kirk? He's like, well, that position is technically supposed to be his, not Jamin. But Jamin,
we kind of expected.
Yeah, but Jamin, he said, his next thing after that was like, Jamin's plenty fast enough to keep up with that guy.
Yeah.
He just had bad technique.
It still doesn't take away that my overreaction is the defense is not good. We got lucky on the Travis Etienne drop, like you said.
100%.
We got lucky on the Trevor Lawrence overthrow. I mean, like Trayvon Walker made that amazing play. That's why he was the number 1 overall.
Etienne dropped one. That's what I was trying to think of. He dropped the walk-in touchdown.
That should have been
fourth down too. On fourth down, walk-in touchdown.
Right. They should have scored.
They lost 21 points on the table. That's why I know everybody's getting excited we won, and you're right that we would have probably lost these kinds of games last year, right? Or the years before. But we should have lost. And then I turn around and watch, TV and watch the Lions. They put 35 up.
And the Eagles put up 38, bro.
On the Eagles.
Next 2 games.
Who might have the best defense in the league on
Eagles
paper.
aren't as good as you think.
Hey,
I hope you're right.
Jalen Hurts killed it for me in fantasy, so whatever for this first week. I don't even care. But, so my overreaction is the defense needs a lot of work, but because we got lucky. But you know what? Any given Sunday, that's how it goes. We got the W. And also, it was weird because they had 13 penalties. The Jacksonville Jaguars did. Although, if you guys remember, I think the first 3 plays of the game were all flags. If you guys
remember that vividly. Oh my God.
We were like, man, it's going to be a long game.
They may need to bring back the 4th preseason game. These guys are not ready.
Yeah.
One thing I want to put my foot in my mouth in. Sorry to interrupt you guys, but I was preaching all season or off the past couple of weeks. I was like, dude, I wanted more playing time for the preseason guys. I wanted them to get more reps. Honestly, the team looked like maybe they were rusty a little bit in regard to their actual play calling and their diversity. It looked really good, man. They actually looked pretty crisp. So I was happy with them. So I bite my tongue on that.
And to be fair, defenses always need more time to start a season than an offense does. Always, because of the tackling, the live game speed. So I get that. That's why it's called overreaction. It's an overreaction. But Marcus says our defense needs to work on their technique. Need to put Fuller in the slot and BSJ on the outside. Yeah, Fuller had a rough day.
He did.
Not gonna lie. Fuller did not do well. Ref the District, what's up? I was just over on the Ref the District stream not too long ago. Please go give a shout out and a sub to Nathan, Trev, and Stoner, our friends over at Ref the District.
By the way, Geno Smith's out here eating, bro.
Is he?
It's like 10. It's like 10 of 10, 100 yards and a touchdown. He's like,
good for him. I'm proud of him.
And Ref the District says 3 for 12 on third down, which is amazing. By the way, when we did the pregame with Dunn and Drew, we did talk about one of my keys to the game. Washington wins if it was, and I think Phil might have been yours too. Third down conversion percentage, because we were, Dev, it was you and Dev and I, because Dev said, what did you say? Dead booty ass last, something like that. And I was like, butthole ass last. Yes. Butthole ass last in all of third down conversions last year. And I think, George, I stole the stat from when I was on your show the same week that you had ripped off, and it was just not good for third downs. And to go for 3 for 12,
look, if we're not gonna have a shut them down defense, and granted, our defense is shorthanded. You're missing Cam Curl, you're missing Chase Young, Phil Mathis is gonna be out for the season, which sucks. If you can play bend but don't break like that, where you're holding them to field goals, where you're getting off the field on third down, you're gonna give up some plays, but you're not going to get your back broke.
Yep.
Then you can get away with that if you have a dynamic offense. And you know what? It kind of looks like we have a dynamic offense.
Let's keep our fingers crossed. Hey, Corey Lott, thank you for joining. Good friend of the show, Corey. Thanks for tuning in, brother. So let's go into the next segment we have here. George, we'll start with you again. The good, the bad, and the ugly. I know this is 2 negative things, but that's why I do these things. So let's talk about good, bad, ugly. What you got?
All right, the good. I got to give Curtis Samuel some props, man. That came out of nowhere. I was really excited by that.
And we can't take the same ones for each other. So this is why it's fun little segment, because we all have to have different things. So you're the guest. You get the lead off.
All right, so Curtis Samuel, man. So it's kind of a fun side on the aside. Curtis Samuel went undrafted in most of my fantasy leagues. No one really had high expectations for him, but he comes out. He's carrying the ball. He's a very dynamic. It was really cool. The Jaguars were on their heels. It was a great play very early on in the game where Curtis Samuel motions from the flanker position, comes in the backfield. We throw a pass back to the tight end, and Rodgers is wide open and ran for 25 yards because they weren't expecting that at all. It was just awesome seeing Curtis Samuel basically just touch the ball so much. I think he had 11 targets or something like crazy. Let me pull it up right now. Curtis Samuel had 11 targets. He had 8 catches for 55 yards. So I really enjoyed watching that. That was fantastic. And, the first ever touchdown for the Washington Commanders. So that was really cool and dynamic. The bad is our run defense, man. That's one thing that's one thing people don't want to address right now. I don't know if I stole that from you, Steve, but
okay.
Our run defense, man. Obviously people want to kind of get on Fuller and William Jackson, but looking at it over here, James Robinson averaged 6 yards per carry with a 22-yard touchdown. ETN had only 4 carries, but he averaged 12 yards per carry. I don't you got to kind of have to blame the Jaguars for not necessarily pushing that envelope so much. We did a pretty good job with that, but it just didn't work out. And then finally, we got to figure something out with our slot. We have BSJ there, and I like him, but Christian Kirk had a quiet 117 yards in the slot. And what I was listening to when I was doing some reading and stuff this morning, is basically what happened was the defenses were they were mushing their formation, and they were getting Christian Kirk on Jamin Davis, and Jamin Davis can't cover the slot right now. I know he was getting mismatched, and that's kind of where he got beat up a little bit. So
yeah.
Samuel run defense and Jamin Davis, my good, bad, ugly so far.
Okay, fair. Let's go to some of these comments here. Corey says 7 for 10 on offensive third downs. Nathan, our friend from Western District, said the good was Gibson, the bad Cole Holcomb, the ugly, the scheme that puts Davis on Kirk. Yeah, poor. I was mad when Jamin.
Jamin was crap, dog. Cole Holcomb was crap.
Yep. And hey, shout out to DMV Mess Hall. This is Tailgate Ted and the rally captain Steve Boyd. Go check out their channel as well. You can find their you can Google them. I know they're a relatively new podcast, but they're live and on the scene. Everyone knows Tailgate Ted. I know you might know me, Ted, but I know who you are. Hey, good to see you guys on the content creator team, because you're in Kentucky. You don't come to the games, but DMV Mess Hall, their podcast says good has to be the Derek Forrest stepping in for Cam Crow out of nowhere. Absolutely. Marcus says, got to give Ron credit to his plan to rest Curtis Samuel this past offseason was smart. Yeah. That was some Belichickian vibes. He was.
I said that after.
I
said that after the FedEx practice. I said, I don't think he's out of shape, and I don't think he's hurt. I said, I think Ron's just playing everybody right now.
Yeah, true story. Dev, so we'll go to you next, as we went to Phil last time. Good, bad, ugly. What you got?
The good was our offense. It's hard to pinpoint one guy. The bad was, I'm going to say, probably the fumble and the 2 turnovers. So I guess 3 turnovers total. We can't, against a good team, we lose that. You can't play a good team with 3 turnovers and expect to win. The ugly, obviously, Holcomb is crap. And I like Holcomb. He's not a crap football player. He's definitely a deserving starting linebacker. He's not a starting Mike. And anybody who says he is, think about why we've been needing a Mike for 4 years. This guy's been on the team about 4 years, and not once has he played the Mike. All of a sudden, you just think he's going to be one. We've been needing a Mike for 4 years. He had this dude on our team for 4 years. Ain't played the Mike once. All of a sudden, he's
got beat up by John Bostic last year at the Mike, so who's
Mike
also on the roster.
Yeah, man, he's terrible. And Bostic is terrible.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Ron lets guys stay on the team just because they're good guys and leaders, man, which makes no sense.
Yeah, that's the culture thing he's really big into. So I get it. Squirt Reynolds, we're good.
Man, give me
Phil, good, bad, ugly. Let's go.
Good, bad, ugly. Good. The diversity of the play calling. Scott Turner has really shown some evolution here. That was a hell of a game plan he put together. He had Antonio Gibson out in space. He mixed up the run, the pass. He utilized Curtis Samuel. Everybody talks about the Samuel on the West Coast. We got to start talking about the Samuel on the East Coast, because our Samuel acts just like Debo. The bad, going conservative once you're up, and you need, when you're not the most elite team in the league, you need to have a foot on the throat mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the key thing: the elite teams in the league have a foot on the throat mentality. They don't care. They don't care. You gotta play like you gotta play like you're never gonna see these dudes again, ever. And then just drop the hammer down and just keep it going. All right. Throw the whole playbook at them. I don't care if you're up 20 points. Your defense isn't that good.
The Bills did it last week, even on Thursday. They crushed the Rams. It's a good call.
Exactly. They never let up.
Yep.
And I get it. You want to be protective because, hey, we do have some guys with some turnover issues. But, until they turn the ball over and cost you the game, don't go conservative. Our turnovers came being conservative.
Yeah. And I think you and I were talking about this before, Phil, where, Jay Gruden used to do that a lot, like almost like not play to lose, but don't play to win sort of thing. Like
actually, it's
killer mentality.
We're driving down the field in a 2-minute drill. And Steve goes, "Oh man, they're going to play for the field goal." I literally was like, "You can't." I was like, "No, you go for the touchdown." Very next play.
I text the exact same thing to Sean.
It's just because we're used to it, right, George? Like, how many times? Oh, we're just gonna. It's like doing a layup. We're gonna lay up instead of like, we're already winning, and then we're not gonna just put the nail in the coffin.
I just love dunking on people, man.
Yeah.
But
the district says, "Oh, go ahead, Phil. Go ahead."
Let's say, but the ugly, and I like Ref District's point here, by the way. But the ugly is the simple fact that we let Christian Kirk look like he was worth that stupid contract they signed him to.
Set the market. set the market initially. I hate it. I hated it.
Somehow
overrated.
Somehow we decided, hey, let's put a linebacker on Christian Kirk.
Yeah.
So we can justify his payday, so we can also justify paying Terry. I don't know if that was the thought process.
Speaking of receivers, when y'all see the highlight of what Judy just did, man.
Shitting on people.
Man.
Him and Cortland Sutton, man, that's a good combo with Russell Wilson under center, man.
Cortland's out, I think, for a while.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he threw a ball. It was wide open, like no one was on him. But it was such a terribly underthrown pass. That dude had to literally stop in the middle of a sprint, catch the ball. The dude outran him. He pushed him and then jetted like 0 to 100 like a Corvette. Just went right by him.
He's fat. Is he an Alabama guy?
Christ.
Yeah.
Yes,
Jerry? Oh, yeah. Him and Devontae Smith, man, those speedsters. Retha District says you have to look at when those runs happen. Big runs didn't happen when they were up, and the Commanders were up 14-3 when those runs happened. That's true. So they were kind of playing – I don't know. I don't call it prevent defense, but that kind of goes back to what Phil was saying is why
it prevents
stop?
You from winning.
Why stop? Why not continue the pressure, continue the stunts, and just, and keep going? Marcus said the good offense, Scott Turner and Forrest, bad, Holcomb missing gaps, ugly, some of the defensive schemes. So, okay, I guess it's me and my good Logan Thomas is back. I'm just kidding. Logan's my favorite player on the team, so I'll be a little bit biased.
He stood up so quickly when Logan got his first ball, and because
I called it. I was like,
he got the entire game.
I was like, Logan, you got to give it to Logan right here. And then I saw him wide open. I said, Logan, and he got it. It was when he scampered for 15 yards or so, but it was just good to see him back. But to me, offensive line, they kept Carson upright, only got sacked one time. Yeah, and that was some concern because I think West went down, Schweitzer went down, and Trey Turner came in. So actually, I got to go back and tell Corey. We were on Corey's show in early July, and I said West Schweitzer. We all said West Schweitzer will be starting. He said, no, it's Trey Turner. We had this huge argument about it, so I got to go back and tell Corey that. But the bad is that out route that Carson threw. When you're throwing an out route, you cannot be late. And he was. You got to throw it with anticipation, and it's a hard pass. And clearly, the dude jumped it. I don't know which cornerback snagged it, but and ugly. I'm gonna say, I don't want to crap on some of the fans, and it's Twitter because Twitter's toxic. But man, on Twitter, I'm so happy at this victory, and then people are still finding reasons to be. I'm not even gonna say negative, but deliberately and flagrantly,
dishonest,
shitty.
Dude, go ahead, Steve. I'm gonna jump in on this
for no reason whatsoever. And that's why I wanted to bring this up because it alludes to the tweet that you brought up earlier.
Yeah, man.
About the stadium is shit and no one's here. that place was rocking, man. The lower bowl was rocking. Even the up in the club seats, it was rocking. Okay, the fourth level, yes, nosebleed, standing room wasn't full, but that stadium was rocking.
It was awesome, man.
It was just really sad to see some of the. Yes, things weren't great. We're talking about good, bad, ugly now, but why complain about? And it was just it just really got under my skin. I didn't engage because I didn't have the energy to engage.
A lot of nitpicking.
For real, man.
Yeah, George, go ahead, man.
It's great. I try to stay so positive, man. I'm just a naturally positive person in general, so I try to like be clean on Twitter too. But like, dude, I put a tweet up and I was like, it's like I was hyped up. The stadium was popping. It was like, dude, people were like hitting me up as negative, deliberately trying to steal energy from people. I don't like that. It was like it's 60% full. They were sending me pictures. There was like a leak apparently on one part of the stadium or something like that. And they were saying, they were showing me screenshots about the beer prices. And, I'm a seller for going to the game because Dan Snyder owns the team. And it's like real negative stuff. And I'm like, dude, like, you're missing out on all the positive energy that's going on here. For those of us that actually attend and kind of hang out in this culture right here, like all of us right here, we hang out, we have a good time. We're building friendships. We're having, making good memories. It's been a lot of fun. And
people
it's
actually called you a sellout because you went to the
game?
Dude,
all the time. I get that all the time.
They'd hate me, man. I got Puddin' Pops and R. Kelly going on over here, bro. They'd hate my guts.
Dude, I love it. Dude, I love that. And I love R. Kelly. We gotta go off a different direction.
He's a dirtbag, but
he's nasty. But he's a great artist. So his music's great.
Can't knock that.
No,
but it wasn't even a factor of it. I really feel like it was I'm complaining just to complain because honestly, there wasn't a whole lot to complain about if you really got down to the gnat's ass of it. It was really people just like they were freaking miserable.
If you ask them, Steve, that's where I was starting to get. That's where I should have stopped. But I was basically, did you guys go to the game?
Yeah,
everyone that was complaining didn't go to the game. They just it's all like an echo chamber. They're hearing things on the media. They're saying things, but they're not there. So that's where I was getting upset. Like,
I would log a lot of things if Rep the District was still online. They have this thing where they put this tweet out there is. Put this in the bucket of doing things right, and they just post whatever it is. And I really enjoy that because there are things they are doing right.
They are
not sucking up, and I am literally not an apologist. I will say it how it is. Lots of negative things to say about the team, but I didn't have a negative experience at all yesterday. Not at all. Even if they would have lost, there were still some positives that came out of it, but I don't know. DME Mess Hall says, I just mute all those Twitter haters and move on. I don't have time for their mess. That's right. You don't have time for their mess in the mess hall. So I feel you. I feel you.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Tell them to meet me out back behind the cafeteria and I'll start whooping ass because that's what I do on Twitter. Here's the thing. Somebody's going to come armed with both cannons blazing, and that's me.
Phil has no filter on
Phil's an undercover Philly fan, dog.
Whatever. I'm trying to take all these guys who should go become Philly fans and force them into that direction. I don't want you in this fan base. I got to the point and tell people like, leave. Why are you here?
Yeah. Why are you still here?
Why we get it. I'm not going to support this team. It's been 3 seasons now.
I know.
And you're still talking about this.
I mean, I don't like olives. I tried olives. I don't like them. I don't continue to eat them. So I'm done. Like, I'm not going to continue to eat olives and just complain about it. I just don't eat olives.
With me, Steve, because I love black olives.
You want to know something racist? Black olives in a can where you can't see them, green olives in a jar.
Oh, that's true. Man.
I'll eat the whole can of both. I don't care.
You know why? Because those green olives have moxie. That's why, Dev. That's why you.
Dev loves moxie too. I know that. I dropped it on purpose.
Wait till Dax Milne has a good game. It's going to be over.
He's a great route runner, heady player.
I know. Marcus said, I think Carson will have less mistakes after having more reps. Absolutely. Live game speed. And this is promising because we saw what we saw, and that was with, just preseason and camp reps.
I'll tell you one thing, though, Steve.
Yeah.
Why I'm kind of worried about Cosme going against your boy.
Sheriff? Or not Sheriff.
From the Lions.
Hutchinson?
Yeah. That dude's an animal. He's an animal. And
Cosme was the highest rated offensive lineman we had yesterday.
Man,
he did give up a sack.
Walker was eating his ass a little bit, though. Like, he got the sack, and he also got through a couple times.
But you know what? Hey, your offensive quarter needs to scheme something up to either chip Hutchinson or get the ball out quickly. That's the coach's
this
job.
ain't 1991. Nobody just goes one-on-one with blocking anymore. Like all game.
Yeah.
Not all game.
How did Saxon Sheriff give up last night? That's what I want to see. How did he do?
By the way, if you want to talk about you chip guys
no,
occasionally, ask Michael
There were
Carson.
2 sacks. There was 2 sacks yesterday. I don't know how many were on
I
Sheriff.
think there's more. The intentional ground is kind
Well,
of
both sacks
No, I
were
think
interior
so.
line though.
Although it was Payne and Allen.
Allen had 2.
No, Allen had
Another
one. Payne had one.
Davis
I
had
thought
one, but I
Allen
got
had
called back because of a penalty for Fuller. Fuller like a defensive holding that came back. But we had
Yeah, I
another sack on that
remember
too.
getting really mad about that because
I wanted Davis to get hyped a little bit.
Yeah. Marcus says they hate when I post Commanders instead of Redskins. Yeah, you know, I'm not that okay. I get some people still feel that way, but it's fine. We will. Yeah. All right, George. As a last segment, let's close this out with game balls. Who do you have for game balls? Let's give one out for offense, one out for defense. Same rules apply. We cannot steal. Everyone gets a different game ball.
All right. So should I be nice? Should I steal? I don't know. Should I be nice and try to think outside the box or whatever?
No, do whatever you want, man. You're the guest.
I'll think outside the box. I'll be nice on offense. So I'm gonna give Scott Turner the game ball, man. I'm gonna go that. Is that cool? Can I do that? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Scott Turner, man. I think he got people kind of were riding him for a couple of years, and there was that narrative that hey, Alex Smith, Taylor Heineke, he's been limited to what he could do. And I thought yesterday he kind of proved that he is a little bit creative. I like the different diversity that he was offering. I thought there's some good play calls that were out there. It's fun having weapons. This is the kind of the reminds me of 2016, I think it was, when we had Garcon and Jackson and all those guys. I'm starting to feel that vibe again. So I kind of like the creativity that's coming. So week to week, Scott Turner, hopefully he develops more. And, I want him to stick around. I want him to be that next guy. I want him let's say Ron Rivera moves up to the front office and Scott Turner starts thriving. That'd be nice to have him become a head coach if things work out. I mean, that's all years from now, but that's kind of where I want it to go. And then on defense, man, I gotta say this one, man. Derek Forrest, man, he made me proud, man. I know you guys want him too, but he played his ass off, man. He deserved it. When I went to training camp, I saw him getting a lot of reps, and Dev, you're right. I saw him a lot in the Buffalo nickel position a lot, so I thought he was gonna be a rotational player. But I just love like the underdog that mentality, man. Like he was like a 4th round pick, 5th round pick. He wasn't really heralded. He was supposed to get some reps, but then after the game, all the media scrum came up to him. They basically were all over him, interviewing him. He stopped the touchdown with a swat ball. He got a pick to end the game. He had a great hit on ETN. He played his ass off, dude.
Yeah, my buddy texted me. He's a Texans fan. He's like, "Hey, man, number 22 is playing like Sean Taylor out there. Who is this guy?"
Yeah,
and I was like, I wasn't expecting it either.
Busting. And Steve, you're good. Go ahead.
Oh, so he was busted, man. Yeah.
No, the one hit he made on the sideline where the ball popped out, like that just screamed Sean Taylor to me.
The guy is by just completely different people. You said that, and then the person next to me, it was like, that's a Sean Taylor hit. It's kind of funny that was the imagery that we got. It was cool.
Even the interception was a Sean Taylor interception.
Yeah, it was.
One of those Brett Favre ones where he threw it up in the air. I know exactly what he's talking about. Yeah.
Oh, good stuff. Okay. Phil, we'll go to you since you went to Dev last time.
All right, game balls on offense. I am going to give one to Mr. Carson Wentz. He threw 2 picks. Yes, one was his fault. One, I don't even put that on him. I don't care what anyone says. That was a play that 99 times out of 100 is just a ball that's batted down. That just happened to stick in that dude's hands. And he came back from it and threw 2 touchdowns to win the game. Right, and both of them, and wasn't little dink and dunk stuff either. Those were some actual deep passes that last year's quarterback doesn't even attempt. Right, I agree. Defense, Deron Payne. Yeah, that dude single-handedly stopped the Jags on 3rd down 3 different times. You can't even quantify how big that is. That just shows up as 3 tackles on a stat sheet. That's 3 third downs that he single-handedly stopped. Yeah, that dude is. I said, be prepared. Contract season. If he's going to actually show us all that potential that he has had and that we've seen flashes of, it's going to be this year, and we're seeing it. Take advantage.
All right, bet Dev game balls.
My game ball goes to the guy I knew was going to get game ball the whole time, Curtis, in my Killer Cam voice. But I definitely want to. I think that Curtis deserved Player of the Game, man, because he showed everybody that he wasn't hurt. He showed the shifty movements. He caught a couple of third down balls, turned a couple of 2 or 3 yard gains into 8, 9, 10 yard gains. Got a touchdown pass. Got us excited, which is the best thing about the whole idea, dog. Seeing him shake people in open field and McKissick shake people in open field is going to be fun all year, man.
Yeah.
And and Dotson is had a very good game also, but I'm giving my game ball to Curtis. Curtis.
All right. About defense. I said offense and defense, man. They each get one.
I'll get Allen or Payne. I'm going to go with Allen.
Okay. Because Payne already got one. So you go with John Allen. Okay.
Yeah.
Who did have I want to say a groin injury, precautionary.
He said he had a cramp.
Was it? Okay.
I heard groin injury too. I heard he's walking around fine afterwards, but I heard it was the groin. So whatever that means.
That's fair.
Cramp in his groin.
Yeah. My game ball is Deb. You kind of hit on it. I'm going with Jahan. You're opening your debut game. You're a rookie. You're at home, lots of pressure, and then you rip off 2 touchdowns. And they weren't just easy touchdowns. Like your touchdowns were both high difficulty in traffic catches, and you created space. And so I was not high on Jahan Dotson when he was drafted. I was still salty about not getting Kyle Hamilton. Phil can tell you I was extremely not high on him at all. And man, I am so glad that I am wrong about him, because I feel he's just another version of Terry McLaurin. I think he can offer us, and how can you? Phil's a Penn State fanboy, so of course he told me.
Perfect.
So yeah, Jahan Dotson gets my offensive game ball, and for defense, I don't necessarily have one for the players, so I'm gonna go with the fans, the burgundy and gold fans in the stadium. Every third down, every major play, it was so loud. It was amazing. Like I said, I haven't felt that energy in so long, and so I'm gonna give my defensive game out to the fans who came, and we were rocking. We were loud, man, on third downs, on the major plays, and I know it's kind of cheesy, but I just felt like fans got to get something. Corey says Samuels gets a game ball. Payne gets a game ball. Gibby gets a game ball. Jahan
none of us gave Gibby. He deserves it, man.
I was going to give it to Gibson, but Jahan's a rookie. Gibson, I think he surpassed all of our expectations. No fumble. We had a guy 30
total yards.
Yeah, all-purpose yards and no fumbles. We had a guy in front of us who was pissed off about when Curtis Samuel fumbled. He's like, "See, he was drunk. That's why we need Brian Robinson." We're like, "That was Curtis Samuel. That wasn't Gibson."
Scott's tots, man.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. But
he broke out the Scott's tots during the game. By the way,
I did say
came
Scott's
out
tots.
at one point.
I did
It's Scott's tots.
Have you seen The Office?
No, I don't. I haven't watched
one
episode of The Office.
You won't get that.
The episode you need to watch is the one where he promises to give these kids money when they graduate school. Right,
but he did it when they were kids, like toddlers,
like little kids, and now they're like adults, and they're like, and he goes to the school and he doesn't have anything. So
they put on this huge
they put on
play
this
for
show
him.
Like, hey, Mr. Scott, what you gonna do to make our dreams come true? Everyone's a little skit and everything for him, man. He didn't have nothing.
So we call Jahan Curtis and Terry Scott's tots. That's just our
sense.
We'll make a T-shirt about it here.
That'd be hilarious. That'd be awesome.
Marcus says offensive game ball Scott Turner or Carson Wentz, defense Deron Payne or Derek Forrest. Yeah, man, I can't go wrong with that. Corey says
it's gonna be hard to take Derek off
Forrest.
The field,
Forrest was the defensive MVP, hands down. And I really liked Carson on offense. Ron's speech and Carson's speech right after the game ball. Man. I mean,
they said this man wasn't a leader, man.
Turnovers, man. Ed's leader. I agree, Dev.
Yeah. Marcus says Phil was right about. He's talking about Jahan. And DMV Mess Hall says has to be Samuel for me. 5 total catches last year. He had 8 yesterday.
That's a good point.
I feel like he was a total offense in the first half. He
would
really
have had
was.
a bigger game being fumbled.
Yeah. And as we shut this thing down, I want to talk about one thing real fast. And if you know who Warren Sharp is on Twitter, you know who Warren Sharp is. He made this tweet about Carson Wentz, and I'm going to share it real fast, very quickly. And I really didn't appreciate it, and it's not getting enough. He's not getting enough drag as it goes, but he plays this Carson Wentz who we thought he was, and it's just the play where the Trevon Walker immaculate interception.
Look at it being back on it.
Exactly, it's a great play.
Great play.
That's
Yes.
why he's the second. That's why
was
he's the first pick in the draft, wasn't he? The first.
He was engaged. He was engaged with Charles Leno. You didn't even see him. Then he jumps out from the side.
Yeah, that dude.
He makes this tweet, doesn't retort it, doesn't clarify it, and just gets dragged. So if you haven't already done so, go drag Warren Sharp in his comments, because all day leading up to the game, it was all about, and leading up to last week, and you know this, George, Indianapolis, the comments about Matt Ryan. Oh, Matt, we can finally run our offense because Carson's gone and Matt Ryan's here. Look what Matt Ryan did. Look what Carson Wentz did.
I'm thinking all of us are. I think all of us are going to be Jacksonville fans next week because they play Indiana. Indiana has beat Jacksonville 7
I'm going against Indiana. I'm going against the Colts all year long, man. I'm not a Colts fan at all year long, man.
I'm with you, George, because of all the nonsense we've been hearing.
Nonsense, man. All the nonsense.
Fuck Jim Irsay. He's the new the new cuss word guy this year. Fuck Jim Irsay, man.
And then Steve, and for all y'all, I don't know if you guys got the context, but Warren Sharp's the one that blew up the Scott Abraham tweet earlier in the year. I don't know if you guys know that at all.
I remember
he's the one that basically said, like, what's going on with this thing. So and then Jason Wright came after him. You saw that too, right, Steve?
Clap back.
I love it, man. I like it. Dude. People don't like that. I love it, man. I love a president that back their team up. I love it. Perfect.
That's right. So let's end this our topic on one quick little. We talked about the Carson Wentz thing and Ron Rivera, but I think it would be foolish not to show this. Let's 1 minute clip.
We talk about value. We talk about work, guys. When it comes down to it, you stayed where you were supposed to stay, and that was right on the field. You stayed focused. You corrected some things. You made some things happen, and some of you guys rose to the occasion and made plays. That's huge. That's huge. I got one special one I want to give, just so everybody understands, for everything that he has gone through, for everything that he's worked for. He deserved this win. Yeah! Hey, I know it's been a wild off season for me, for all of us, but we have so much potential in this locker room. For us to go out and do the thing we did tonight, I know it looked rough for a second. Back-to-back passes thrown to the other team, that's on me. But that's the way we finish. And that's what good teams do. You find a way to win. It ain't always going to be pretty in this league. But you find a way to dig deep and get it done in the end, and that's what we did tonight. Good job.
All right. Carson, even with a little bit of explicit language, good to see him on the edgy side. Yeah. But, hey, George, we want to thank you for joining us tonight, man. It was really taking the time out of your day to come sit down and talk ball with us, and we really appreciate you. And let's give everyone a chance. Tell us where we can find you, not only your podcast, your show, your writing. Give us the whole spiel, man. Where can we find you at?
First of all, I appreciate you having me, man. I definitely, Steve, the past couple of weeks we've been connecting more. I love the relationship that we have right here. It's pretty awesing. Phil, it was a pleasure meeting you yesterday. Dev, I want to meet you in person one day, man. Definitely good people.
If you got weed, I'll be there. No.
Bring it on my show one time, man. We definitely all three of us need to get together on my show.
Hey, let me tell you something, Dev. They don't give a shit in that parking lot. They don't.
It's illegal. It's legal there, right?
I guess not in Maryland. I don't think so.
It's decrimmed.
Yeah.
All right, we're going back.
Red zone lot was dank. I'm like.
I found out something today. It's hitting probably the arena, but I'm going to say it anyways. But guess what happened? Guess what I found out today in Bowling Green? Guess who lives here?
Who?
The old bitch that told on Emmett Till, dog.
Oh boy.
Are you kidding me?
No lie. I was like, they're talking about they're doing some kind of thing today. They want to get some old lady arrested. I'm like, what is going on? The woman that accused Emmett Till of winking at the white chick that got him beaten to death.
Yeah.
Lives in Bowling Green. She's like 100 and blind and deaf. And, but they're like, they want to see her spend her last days in prison. I'm like, damn. They're gonna protest. She only lives like 3 or 4 blocks away, like this way, like right up there, man.
That's crazy. Man.
I never knew that, by the way.
Yeah. All right, George, go ahead. Plug your stuff, man.
Yeah, it's all good. Thanks, man. I appreciate everything. So I'm George Carmi. You can find me on Twitter at GCarmi21. My other handle is at FBC_Commanders. I write for FullPressCoverage.com, and my Full Press Commanders podcast is part of the whole Full Press Coverage umbrella. So a bunch of good guys over there. And I got a fantasy pod on Sunday mornings you guys should check out. So definitely covering all the Commanders too. So thank you for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and you can also find George's channel in the comments of our YouTube. He's linked in our YouTube on our description. If you just scroll down in our description on YouTube, you can find George's channel. Please be sure to subscribe. While you're at it, make sure you subscribe to us.
100%.
Command this. You know what I'm saying?
Big
shout out to those who
check out
joined
George
the chat today.
Al Gaudy and all those guys.
I know George is on another level, man. That's why so
Not
professional,
close,
man. We really appreciate you. Are very professional, George. I will once, from watching you from a distance, I will say that's the one thing I can say about you is you are extremely.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I try, man. I'm trying to.
Yeah,
I am not.
But that's why we love you, Dev, and that's
right,
why we have you on this channel.
100%. Man.
Shout out to those who joined the chat. Mark Seedlin, DMV Mess Hall. Make sure you guys go sub to them. Tailgate Ted and the rally captain Stephen Boyd, Corey, Ref the District. Thank you for joining. We had Yam comment way early in the chat. He's in Japan. Yam, not Yamaha. Yam in Japan. Marcus, Josh Kirby, Andy Burrows from the UK. Thanks for all tuning in. We really appreciate you. Dev, you got any shout outs before we close this thing out?
Shout out to Geno Smith. He's got me about $24 on FanDuel. But other than that, man, no, man. Shout out to my daughter. Her birthday's September the 11th, September 11th, actually. So happy birthday to her. Dad loves you. And that's all I have, man.
Happy birthday, Phil.
Shout out to the people still obsessed with me on Twitter who hate the fact that we changed the name of this team and refuse to go to the games. I hope you enjoyed watching on your 13-inch TV VCR combo. While we got to hang out with 50,000 of our brethren having a great time. We were chilling and grilling and drinking and doing all kinds of fun shit before the game. And we were partying during the game, after the game. It's not too late. Get on the bandwagon now, because we will remember if you show up come playoff time.
Yeah. And I think Phil, the next game Phil and I will be out together, I think will be the Titans game if we plan this correctly. And by the way, that's the next game. Corey's the Sanchez. I was on a show earlier, checking out the live stream on the Warpath. Go check it out if you haven't done it. He will also be at the Titans game. So Phil, we definitely have to make that
Dev, you're not Dev. You can drive to Corey's house. He'll take you the rest of the way.
Man, where's Corey live at?
Corey lives in
Richmond,
Wise County, Virginia. He's close
to
you.
It's still like 7 hours, man.
No, it's not. It's like 3.
No, not from Bowling Green. No way.
Yeah, it is.
George, you're a season ticket holder, right?
So you'll be at every
game. I'll be there, man. Yeah, dude, we'll always link up. I'll be in the red zone. Whenever you guys let me know. I love it.
We will be living vicariously through you for the game day experience. I'll probably go to maybe 2 more games this year.
Okay.
Not sure yet with the family. It'll be tough, but I'll probably make another game outside the Titans game. But
cool, let me know.
We'll play it by ear. But yeah, thank you, George, for joining us. We really appreciate having you. Like I said, if you already done so, please go like, subscribe this video and to George's channel. It's in the comments. And as always, thank you for joining us. And we're signing off. Peace and hey-o.